What's up guys, it's been a while since I uploaded my last video, so I'm gonna make it up to you. So we're going to create a login register authentication in PHP using PDO. So to start, go to your SAMP htdocs and create a folder. I'm gonna create authentication. Say demo, authentication demo, and just drag and drop it to your code editor. I'm using VS Code. Before we start, as you can see, I have no backup code or anything, so this is kind of like freestyle coding. So let's do some googling later if we encounter some bugs and stuffs. So let's first create a, let's say, index.php, and make PHP tag, standard boilerplate. Let's name the title authentication. And by the way, since we're using PDO, I have this PDO guide in my repository. I'll link it up in the description below later. So here you can, this is a guide for you. This has authentication setup like this, and some other good functionality, the create, read, update, and delete, even search data. This can serve as a guide for you, so better check this out later. Now let's view the index page. Let's type localhost / your folder name, which is authentication demo. It will automatically run the index.php. So let's say hello world. This is not a beginner tutorial, so I'm going a bit fast. Now let's create the register.php, and let's create our PHP tag. And before we do that, by the way, this is not a CSS series, so I just grab Bootstrap CDN for a bit of styling, but we're not going to focus on styling. I'm gonna grab this CDN, CSS CDN, to check this out. Let's say hello world with a class of, say, text success, just to check if the Bootstrap CDN is working. Go to your browser, refresh the page. Now it's working, right? So let's remove that for now. I'm gonna, this is the index page. Let's move to the register page, and we need a form for the user to input their data. Say register, and we should have a include first. Let's say header.php and footer.php. In our header, let's go to our index.php and copy all this. Cut. Let's paste it here. Then let me just grab some standard navigation. Search navbar. I'm gonna copy this one, space it in the header. You can use quick format document to quickly format your document without pressing Shift Tab or Tab. And just go Alt Shift F. Now let's see. Oh, it's not working. Why? I haven't included the header. So at the top, say require once, or I'm gonna use include. Then includes header. Now this is our navbar. Then footer, let's copy this and paste it here, and include the footer as well. Includes footer.php. We should not see any changes for now. And let's go to the header. I'm just gonna change some stuffs here. Say I'm gonna delete it. Login and register. Also gonna delete this disabled sample. See the changes. And I'm gonna change this to authentication. Now let's move to our register.php, and we need to create a form. Let's have first a container. Then I'm not going to discuss all the styling. We're going to focus on the logic. So this is from scratch. I have no backup, so expect some typos or errors later, maybe. Say form post. Need to have a form group. Then label, say for say first name, then we need to have the input type text, the name of first name, and ID of first name. By the way, you can remove this, but since we are using label, it is recommended to have an ID in your input for the label to reference later. Put a class of form control, and I'm just gonna copy and paste it. Say last name, ID, last name, and we need to have a email. And you can validate your email in your HTML like this, but we want server-side validation for email, so I'm gonna use text, name, email, ID, email. And we should also have password. So I'm gonna use password 1 because we're going to have confirm password, and I'm gonna name that password 2. So the label is confirm password. Input type password. Then should be password 2, ID password 2, and another form group, or let's say display grid, because I want a button block, button type submit, then class of ptn dtn info, and say register. And let's not forget the name, which is register also. Let's view it to the browser. Let's go to Register Php, and this is our form. The Bootstrap is not working, as you can see, because we haven't included the headers and the footer yet. So I'm gonna remove this. And let me just copy here, paste, I'm gonna make it one line, paste it inside, then click format document. Now we should see the changes, and this is now our register form. Wait, let me put an H1 here. It says register here, and let's move this is the index page, because we're not on the index page. Say na header, move it. So this is our register. Now let's move to the let's first create our database. Let's go to localhost /phpMyAdmin. Then you can press SQL to create database, or you can click this new, let's say create database, the name of our database, let's say authentication demo, then control enter. Wait, I have some error. Goes under the authentication database, my other database, so let me just drop that database, authentication. Now it's working fine. We have this authentication demo, and now let's create a table named users. Let's say how many columns. I want an ID, first name, last name, email, password, and created that. So I want 6 number of columns. We need to have an ID, auto increment, and so first name, so varchar 255 max value, max length rather, last name varchar 255, and email varchar 255, and what else, first name, last name, email, password varchar or varchar again 255, and let's do created, and with current timestamp, and with the default of current timestamp, then press save. Now this is our database. We have an ID, first name, last name, email, password, created that. Now we should connect our database. And in order to do that, we need to say, I'm just gonna put another PHP tag here at the top. By the way, in normal cases, I usually do the logic in another file, so as like class, and just extend it to the page. But for now, let's do all the logic here. First, we need to create our page, our website to the database. And in order to do that, let's go to our guide. We need to define the host, username, password, and database name. So let's say I usually make them constant. So define, say, username. My username is localhost. I usually make the constant uppercase. Then we need to have the host. Oh wait, host. This is host. Host, then username and password, and we need to have a database. My username is root, password is none, database is authentication demo, I think. Yep, authentication demo. Now let's first set up TSN. So according to our guide, we'll just copy it. So the advantage of using PDO is you can have multiple database. You just have to specify what type of database. For example, here we're using MySQL. MySQL can use other database such as Postgres or etc. So we need to place it with host, database name, database. Just concatenate that. And now we should wait. Let me Google something. I need to catch the error. Say try catch PDO connection. I forgot the syntax anyway. So when you master Googling, almost 50% of your work will be a lot faster. Oh yeah, I need this. Say try, just copy. Let me place it. I usually name it variable. Say new PDO, and TSN. Wait, I forgot the proper arrangement. Let's go to the php.net documentation. Should be done like this. Okay, is con, and we need to pass the DSN here, which is the host and the database, and let's replace the user and password. And here please set up an exception for the error handling. So this try, if nothing goes wrong, this will execute, while if something bad goes wrong, this catch will execute. And what's wrong with user? It should be username. And let me set up another attribute, because I want to I want to fetch my data as an object. Let me copy this here. Just make a comment here, say fetch object. And this one, this is for limits. Then let's try. We should have no error for now. What if we mess something up? Say demos. And as you can see, the catch will run, which is connection failed, then the error messages. This is the error message, and let's fix that. So now the database is set up. I usually make a separate folder for that. Let's say config. Let's have config.php, and let's have a PHP tag. Then let's cut all this, paste it in the config, and we should just include the config file, say, or require once. Say I'm in the register, so config/config.php. Say, let me mess this up again to see if it's still working, and it's working fine. Now we have to define the logic for the registration. So let's say if is set, say, since it is a post request, let's say register, then let's just echo register for now to see if it's working. And in the action, I'm gonna use php echo underscore server and php self. It goes to the current page. So let's try it. If we press the register button, it should echo register. Let's press, and it's working fine. Then now we should fetch the data, and to do that, let me first declare an errors array, because we need to show some errors to the user if the validation goes wrong. And so if check if empty, say if empty underscore post. Let's check for the first name first. Let's put a comment here. Check first name. Oh, come here. Sorry about that. Then I want the errors to be an associative array. So first name equal to nothing, equal to empty string for now, and last name email and password 1 and password 2. We'll fill the value later. So as I've said, this is I don't have backup code, so expect me to mess up in some point. So let's say if empty first name, let's have an errors, then grab the first name key. Let's say first name should not be empty. And let's check it first. Say let's go print our errors. Now if we submit with the first name as empty, we should get it. This is the error for first name. First name should not be empty, which is the value of the first name in our errors array. So the errors are working fine for now. Now let's move to the else. Else, what should I do? Say I usually do a reg match. To validate the first name, to exclude the unnecessary characters. Wait, I forgot the regex, so let's leave it blank for now. And let's check the last name. They should be somewhat similar. I'm just gonna rename this last name. Last name. And should be last name too. By the way, we can do else if for this condition, but I just prefer if for now. Say, let's check the email. Say if empty, let me just grab this. Empty email, store it in the errors, email key. Say email should not be empty. Else, if the email is not empty, we need to validate the email. So let's say if filter bar, then wait, I forgot the syntax, damn it. If not filter bar, I think we should pass the, let's move the email to here. There is an underscore post. Sorry if I mess up sometimes, because this is all freestyle. No, we need to grab the email, then we need to pass the email, then filter validate email, I think. Yeah. So if the email is not valid, we should expect an error. Say email email should be a valid, say, what error message should we use? Say, please provide a valid email. Let's cross our hands. Let's see if this works. I'm gonna print the errors first. See. So if we leave the first name and last name empty, they should it's working. First name should not be empty and the last name email should not be empty. Now if we have an email which is not valid, like here, like this, we should get the email should be a valid email something, and yep, we get please provide a valid email. Wait, it's working fine. Now let's validate the password one. Check password one. Just gonna copy here. Say password one. Say password should not be empty. And else, if the password is not empty, we need to check if password 1 is equals to password 2. Wait, let me just create a variable for them. Say first name equal to last name. By the way, you can do this. Then last name equal to empty string for now, but you can also do this. Last name equal to email equal to password 1, password 2. That's all equal them to an empty string for now at first. Then let's just assign them. Let's say password 1 equal to, say, that's underscore post password 1. Then we also need the password 2. I have a lot of typos. I'm sorry about that. Then we need to check if password 1 is equal to password 2. Say if password 1, so let's check for the error. So not equal to password 2. We need to provide an error. Let's say errors password 1, say passwords do not match, and also for the password 2, password, say passwords do not match. And let's add this try again. Then let's check the password 2. Let's just copy the password 1. Password 2, password 2, password 2, and we can remove the else because we already checked the password 2 and password 1 if they are matched here. Now the moment of truth wish, let's just print the errors if they are working fine. Let's check if they are empty. They are working Oh, let's rename this to confirm password should not be empty. And then wait. Yep. Now it's working fine. Confirm password should not be empty. If we provide something, let's say valid email, say 1231234. Passwords do not match. Yep. Please try again. And I've noticed in the password one, I should do input type password. Where's that? Now if we refresh, yep, it's working. Now we should show the users their errors. So here, say under the input, say first name, let's add a say the text changer, and say PHP, we should echo the error if there is an error. Errors, say first name, say yep, this is working fine. And we can just, in other scenarios, you should have a condition like this. If errors is defined, if first name is defined, this error message should show up, while if not, it should be empty. But since we declare them at empty at first, we can avoid that. So let me just copy it to the other one. Say last name. There's a lot of stuffs you have to do in the validation, especially in the authentication. So you should learn these things if you want to be a backend engineer or something. So you should paste the say password 1. Then let's copy the password 2. Just gonna format my document, and let's check if we register with that data. Wow, they are working. This is looking good. Let's check for typos. No typos. Now if this is valid and we register, the value should be displayed. So let's provide a value. Say value PHP echo, say first name, so if this is correct, oh what the hell, PHP echo first name, wait, I know, because I didn't say else, I need to reassign. Where should I put this? Say else first name equal to $first. First name. I think this should be, and now it's working. And we should avoid some security issues, because you have to say add HTML special chars to avoid unnecessary characters or scripts. Say for example, this is not protected with HTML special chars or other functions, I can add a script tag here. Say script, say alert, say boo. And if I register, oh, it's not working. I don't know why. Script alert 1. The scripts are not working. Well, anyway, let's move on. Okay, I need to reassign them. Last name, then else, email, this is HTML, chars. This is just for so that we avoid some unnecessary extra line of code here. So we can just echo the data without doing some conditions. Say where are we? The email, password is correct. Let's copy this. Say else. Say HTML special chars. And we should also wrap this to HTML chars. By the way, you can use other function like HTML, like HTML special HTML entities, I think, or MySQLi real escape string or something like that. I just use HTML special chars. Should spell it right. Now if we check, if the field is, let's say, if the field is valid, should not expect an error. Or we should add the value. Let's copy. Last name. Email. Password 1. And the last one is password 2. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. There is a lot of stuff you need to specify when you're doing authentication. So let's say valid first name, last name, and say incorrect passwords do not match. Yep, it's working. How about if email is not valid yet? Please provide a valid email. It's working. Now we should, if there are no more errors, we should insert the data to our database. So let's say, let's have a comment here. Say check if no more errors. Yeah. Say if, say array filter pass the errors. This array filter is it will iterate over in the array and it will check if there's value in it or not. Say if there are no errors, so if not, array filter, say echo there are no more errors for now. say if all these stuffs is valid, say 1 2 3 4. Yep, there are no more errors. Now this time, if there are no more errors, we should save the data to the database. And say we have a SQL variable insert into users, then provide a value, first name, email, last name, email, password 1, password 2, and let's provide a value, and I'm going to use the name parameters, or if you are familiar with the MySQLi prepared statement, you can use positional parameters by putting an exclamation mark and later on bind the data. But I'm going to use the name parameters, which is like this: first name, last name, email, password 1. By the way, the order is very important, so should follow the order. First name, last name, email, password 1, password 2. Now let's do stmt equal to, let's grab the connection variable, then prepare the SQL. Then we need to execute. Yep. Now we need to bind. We have we need to have an associative array. So let's say first name is equal to first name. Yeah, let me just put this in multiple lines. Then I need to have last name, and email, then password 1, or password. This should be equal to password, but we need to hash first our password. So we have an error here. Should be password only, and this should be password only as well. I need to first say hash the password. We're going to use the md5 method or function if you want. Say to hash the password. We're going to use the password 1. Yep. Now we have to execute. Now this should save to the database. Let's just echo new user inserted. Let's try. So you can see this is our database, plain database, no data. Now if we add new data, register, new user inserted. So we expect a new user inserted in our database. And yep, new user has been registered. And look at the password, it's now hash. And yep, the registration is complete. We'll just say, let me just put this into, or I want to have a session of user if the user is active. So I need to grab the last ID. Wait, let me just go to the documentation. Last ID. Google. The programmer's best friend, Google. Okay. Last ID. PHP. Yeah, we need to get the last inserted ID. Find the last insert. Yep, it's a function called last insert ID. So on last insert ID, and say select the newly registered user and store it in a session. Say select all from users table where ID equal to say ID and student equal to on prepare SQL. Need to execute. This is taking so long. Execute, and we need to find the ID. Yep, ID and last ID. It's the error. Oh, we need to have a parenthesis. And let's store and the user and the variable as string. Get or fetch and enter the user. The active user or the last registered user. Yep, this is the data from the last registered user. Now I need to store that data. So run variable or not here. If execute if run we need to say $_ session and say user equal to user and redirect them to the index page. And that's out a message, I think. Say it's been created, or let's first redirect them to the login, or just anyway, I'm just gonna remove this. Redirect them to the index page. Let's see, let's register another user. Let's say john@gmail.com. Yep, they are now on the index page, and to verify that, wait, let us a session start here. So if it include the config, the session already started. Say we need to include the config. Just copy. Require. Then if check if is set $_ session user. This just means if the user is active. Say welcome, or let's store the user in a variable. Let's say user name or username or user. Session user and say email or first name. Say echo it's not working. Session user echo user name. Let's study again. Register again. Change. Some error. Oh, we need to treat the data, the object as an object. Need to check the session as an object. Session user. Yep, it's working. Now the user is now active. Can access the page. And by the way guys, we forgot something very important here. We first need to check if there are existing email. So before we save the data, so here check if email already exists. Select all from users where email equal to email or limit 1 and stmt. I'm just gonna copy SQL need to execute. I only need the email. Let's move this in one line. Say if I think row count, this row count, yep, if there is a result, then email is already registered, so we have to provide an error message. Say email already exists. Please try a new one. Else, if there is the email is not existing yet, should run this code. Cut, paste, format. We need to paste and colon there. Let's first check that. Let's go to the Register Php. And let's use an already registered email. I'm gonna use john@gmail.com. So, username. Yep, email already exists. Please try a new one. And say John2. Yep, it's working fine. And we need to remove this. Need to have a condition. Say the nav bar header. Register the PHP. Need to have a condition here. Say if is set user PHP ending. What's there? PHP if is set. We need to have another parenthesis. They should. Yeah, they are set for the moment because we don't have a logout yet. So let's provide a logout. If I say only, if not is set. Yep, they are now gone. We need to have a logout. Say if not, then let's put an else. Copy. Need to have a logout. We have to make this a form later. Yep. If the user is authenticated, the logout should be show. If it's not, the login register should show up. Let's make this a form real quick. Let's go to logout.php. Or not. Yep, logout.php. We need to make this a button. Type submit. Name logout. Then we need to have a logout.php. Let's grab it. If set _post logout. Sorry guys, my voice is kind of soft now. Yeah. we need to destroy the session and redirect them to the login page. Login.php. Now let's try it. Logout. Yep, we don't have login.php yet, and we're going to work on that now. Just copy it here very quick. I need to require that. Or yep, we should have a condition. If is set user, we have to redirect them. Index.php. And we should also check this in the register. So the bottom maybe. Outside that. So if the user is active, they can go to the register. They will be redirected back to the index. Now we should log out now. If is set $_post logout to destroy the session. If not, so if not set, let's move it for now first. So nothing. Yeah, this is taking so long. Now we're on the login page. Why is the condition not working in the header? If not is set login and register, else logout. And if what's wrong with that? If not is set. Let me remove this. Scott first. Oh, why is it not working? Let me just do this for now. Save. Is set. This is an alternative since else is not working, but this is not recommended. You should use else. I'm just gonna use this anyway. Sorry. And space it. Remove that format. Save it. Oh shit, why is it not working? If not, it's set. Or big page. Oh shoot. Core 1 is config. Core 1 is config. Yeah, this is what you call it's bugs fixing. Almost 90% of the field work as a developer is to find bugs and fix it. No, I'm going to remove this first, so I can go to the register. This is taking so long, so I'm just gonna remove this all. So here, for now. Yep. Now let's go to our login. Just gonna copy everything from the register here. Paste it in the login. Well, I don't need this confirm password. I only need the email and the password. So let's change the login here. Login. Then I don't need this anymore. I only need if it's a login, remove this and this. I don't need this. Remove that. And password to. I no longer need the check condition. So if there are no more errors, let me remove this. We need to check if the email and password exist in their database. From users, where email equal to email and password equal to password. Prepare. This is taking so long because authentication needs lots of code, you know. Then I need to say, oh, I got a type here. I need to execute. Execute, then bind. Say email equal email. I need to hash the password. Say password equal to password. You can hash it first. Say password equal to password 1. Yep. Need to wrap them in MD5 function. Yep. Tapos then if there is a result stmt row count is greater than 0 or row count, let's have a limit point. If there is the data exists, then you should let them log in. So I need to grab the user equal to stmt fetch. This will fetch the data as an object, and I need to have a session. say user equal to user, or no, yeah, then redirect it to the index page. I hope this works fine. Hope there are no more errors, because this is getting so long. Say login PHP. Undefined password 1. Line 74. 24. Errors password 1. Where's that? Password. Oh yeah, I remove this. Password 1 should equal to empty string. Yep. This should work now. Say I'm going to log in. Hope this works. Cross your fingers. Yep. You are now logged in. Now we just need to have a logout. We're almost done here, guys. Let's go to the header. We need to have an if check. If it's set tires underscore session username or user, then yes, then end it. I hope there are more errors. If is set, logout button should appear. So I need to have a form again, because I believe it's earlier rules. You know, there's a lot of stuffs. Logout.php, and the method post button type submit. Say logout, name of logout, else they should have a class of nav link, I think, or nav item. Anyway, I don't know. Alright, login that PHP. Let's hope this works. Click logout. Where now? If the index, you're not logging out. Why is that? Logout.php. Logout. If is set. Session destroy. Oh, I know. Nay, may nabili! Wait. Sorry about that. We need to require the config. We need to require the config. Sorry about the noise. Say config.php. I think this should work. Logout. Yep, this is working fine. This is a complete authentication. Say another one. Let's make some changes in the index. Say if you want, say the container h1, say welcome, user, first name, and exclamation point. Declare an empty user first, then reassign it if there is a session user. See, yep, you are now logged in, and if we log out, you will go back to the login. Let's try again. Let's register. Say Julia. Say Julia@gmail.com. The data is dynamic. The user is logged in. You can also log out. Now, the very last thing we have to do is we need to prevent the user from going to the login page if the user is authenticated. So let's go to the login page. Let's add some if statements here. If is set $_session. Let's say user header application index.php. Then we also need this to the register. Yep. Then we should also have a condition in our index. Let's say at the top maybe. Let's negate it. If not is set, they shouldn't have access to the index page if they are not logged in. Now, if we go to the index page, we should be redirected to the login. Oh, what's the error, man? Not it's set. So, let's go. Trying to get property of person line number 70. Oh, let's just cut this and make an else. Okay. Yep. When we are not authenticated, and if we go to the index, the page should be protected and redirect us to the login page. It's working. And if we are authenticated, we should not have access to the login page and the register page, which is working fine. And this is it. This is a complete authentication from scratch. I have no backup code or anything. We made it all here from scratch. We use some googling, documentation, etc. And I'm proud of you for those who are watching until now. This is it. The code will be on the description below, and this guide for the PDO will also be in the description. That's it. If you like the tutorial, press like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you.